All right, we're live, Dynamicist. You want to tell
Let's
them, or
get
you
it.
want me to tell them?
Man, welcome in. We thank y'all for sliding tonight. We are so glad to be here.
And we don't give a fuck about you. That's what we said right before we hit the live
That
button.
is not true. That is not
Hi,
true.
Tokyo. Hi, Tia. Hi, Truth. Hi,
What's
guys.
good, everybody? So glad to
We're
see y'all.
here.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we turn this on, man. Y'all, we got a great show tonight. We got a lot of shit to talk about, a lot of shit to unpack. Um, I'm looking forward to it though. I'm ready though. I'm
No,
ready.
no, you're not.
I
Neither one
am.
of us are ready. We really. You want me to tell them?
Listen, you clearly are telling them something, but I just told them what I'm telling them. So you go ahead and say what you want to say, nigga. I said what I want
Well,
to say.
What I want to say is this: every week we got to get up here and bring something. No, we don't have to do it. We do it because we want to do it. We need participation. Hi, Deshaun on the track. Okay. I want to know. Hi, Marianne.
Hmm.
I want to know what you niggas think about shit. Put it in the comments. Start with the dynamicists. What do you guys think about him?
What do you mean?
Hi, Drea. Why am I yelling? Am I yelling again? Go ahead, guys. Put it in the comments. I'm highlighting comments. Hey, girl, you look
Oh,
so cute in your little picture. You look like you do taxes.
she probably does.
Drea, let me find out you do taxes.
Jury got a bunch of shit going on. She stayed doing some shit.
I adore the dynamics.
Oh,
No,
thank
no, no, no,
you.
no.
Thank you. Thank you
Wait,
so
wait,
much,
wait.
Marianne. I
Oh, okay, I
appreciate
did
that.
ask what you thought of him.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what she said. She said she adores you. Let's see where.
Oh,
Let's see what other people say.
Truth said we
What Truth
absolutely
say?
love it.
I
It was
don't see
above it.
Truth. Oh,
It
I
was
skipped
above it.
that on accident.
That it might have been intentional. It really might have been
I
intentional. You are
literally let's see,
low key a hater.
but I sleep during the week. I couldn't hear you. I didn't hear that. What happened?
Who?
You
What
said what?
happened? I said
Oh,
you are low key a hater. Low
oh.
key.
Drea
Low
says
key.
she's been stalking our community wall. Let's see when we gonna be here. Oh, she sleep during the week, so Drea likes Friday because she could stay
Oh,
up. But she kind of. I think Drea's sleepy by nature. I get
how?
I, I get sleepy vibes from Drea's photo. I think she's sleepy,
All the time?
but her head is crooked. Do you
She's
think
just
that might have something to do with it?
no. First of all,
What?
actually, that's kind of inviting. So that's the whole purpose of that, right? Because it's the kinesics, the body language, and it kind of conveys, "Hey, come on, come talk to a nigga.
Oh, it does kind of say that, huh? Like,
Yeah,
hi guys.
come on, come talk to
It's
me.
like
I
somebody
got
be
you."
saying, "Come on,
Yeah.
guys, come on."
Hmm. That's
That's
what
why
it
I
said.
said teacher. Remember, I just said she's a teacher.
No,
Or
you just said she's a tax preparer. You
oh.
always changing the narrative. You like one of them
Same
motherfuckers
thing.
we talk about
That's
on
not the
regular
same thing,
basis. No,
Drea.
no.
Do you do taxes? She said no. She has a tax preparer profile. Okay. So she doesn't do taxes. So don't start inboxing Drea about your taxes. Damn. Hi, Tokyo.
I think that was only you.
I'm tired of people saying she does taxes. Tokyo.
You were the one who said it.
I heard it on the street. I heard it on the YouTube street.
On the YouTube streets, they talking shit. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I see you. Man, we're so glad to see you guys, man. Y'all, wait till we get into the subject matter tonight, though. Ooh, the far reaching implications of said information. definitely gonna bless your life, though. It's gonna bless your life. Give a new perspective. Maybe not even a new one. You might already have this perspective, um, but it gives a perspective that I think is a different voice when it comes to the things that we've heard and the things that we're hearing,
Mm-hmm.
and the takes on some of the things that have been taking place. So yeah, we gonna I can't wait. I'm actually low
He
key.
wasn't this excited before I hit the live button. I don't know what happened. It might be the lights, camera, action. He was really like not excited.
That's
Hi
not true.
guys. It is true.
That is not true.
We didn't we said we had to give each other a pep talk and say we could do it.
I wish that you could rewind the whole tape, because that's
No.
not what happened. Because you
Okay.
damn sure didn't tell me, "Yeah, okay, we can do it." You didn't say shit like that at
I
all.
didn't what I say. Okay, don't forget about what I said. Hi Susan. Did you say hi to Susan?
I did. Oh, but listen,
What?
I'm gonna say hi to everybody.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Did you say hi to Tokyo?
I said hi to everybody,
Okay,
but
let me
I didn't
um,
specifically call out anybody. Is that something that's like YouTube etiquette to specifically
well,
call out everybody?
no,
I
no.
like it when you do it though. I do like it when you do it. I like your voice over that, because it's very genuine. Sounds very genuine too. So I think it's legit, and you have a real presence out here in YouTube. So I
Do
think
I?
that's really good. You have a real presence.
I
You're
have
around
a presence in just on YouTube or in general?
just in YouTube.
Because I like, because I
Really?
like, I would like to believe my presence. It goes beyond the YouTube streets.
No, but we're talking about the context. We're talking about YouTube.
Who's
So yeah,
Dreamsicle? I know she's not talking about you, Susan. Who is Dreamsicle? Oh, Drea. I said, let me find out you calling Dynamics is a dreamsicle. That sounds a little exotic.
why couldn't you just let that feed my ego? Because it could be possible.
Okay, let me ask her.
You see what I'm saying? You just come
Susan,
in,
well,
take a
I
nigga
mean,
legs out from up under him. You don't even give me the
well,
opportunity.
it was
I
genuine. I
need to
really thought she
know.
was talking about you.
I need to know how I'm received just as much as anyone,
Okay, let me see if she's talking about
irrespective
you.
of how ego driven you may think I am. I'm not. I'm a very mild mannered individual.
Oh
Not only
God.
that, I am extremely shy. So
Mm-mm-mm.
that's very helpful.
That's true. He does have a shy personality. I'm
Very
Nirvana,
much. And I am the dynamicist.
and
And
we're
unlatched.
unlatched, and the president's unhinged. Okay, we're not talking about that. God, we're not talking about him. God, come here, dynamicist, get up. He's had a cold, you guys, so he's um he has a lot of mucus draining, so he might sniffle and hack a
No,
few times
I'm not gonna do
on
that.
accident. He doesn't want to do it, but just be patient. It's Friday.
I'm gonna do my best to mute the mic. I've been muting it since we started for that reason.
Oh, thank
So I'm trying to
you.
be mindful of that and be
Thank
sensitive
you.
to nobody wants to hear that shit. And I
Mm-mm.
don't want to hear that shit. I refuse to sit here and listen to somebody do that shit all show. So
Yeah. Give us an example of what it would sound like if you didn't mute your mic.
no.
Do it. That what it would that's what it would sound like. Go ahead. He muted his mic. He's doing it right now. Thank you, Tia.
No. I refuse to do that shit. Oh, that would be so disgusting. But
I
listen,
got ice cream on the way.
you're not even supposed to be eating that. But
Well,
it is what it is. It's
Ralph
Friday.
ordered we want to eat Uber Eats ice cream, and I said I'm gonna get a mango. They have a mango drink, but it has tahini in it. I've never had it, but it sounded refreshing. Let's
So
get to these comments.
Uber Eats is a real thing for people, huh?
Yeah, nigga, you would use it too. Oh, she's okay. Look, Dynamics is pay attention. Drea says she's not a tax preparer. Okay, I'm at the top.
No, she says she is a preparer, according to that.
Oh, she said no. I'm a tax preparer. Wait a minute. This is how rumors get started. This is a lot of confusion. So she's a teacher and a tax preparer.
I thought Drea was a therapist.
No, she does something with social work. I think
That
she's
could
a
be the therapy
social
side, the
worker.
counselor side.
Damn it, what does she do? You don't have to tell us, Drea. What's going on with Tokyo? Look how handsome he
Oh,
is. Look at
what's good,
Tokyo.
Tokyo?
Doesn't he look so innocent? He's what happened to ice cream? Okay, let me play some
Tell
music.
the homie I said was happening.
Hey, what's up, dog?
What's
Okay, I'm
up,
gonna play
man?
some music. We got some ice cream coming. Okay, here we go. Teddy
All
swims.
right, first jam for the night. Y'all hold
Okay,
on,
here
we're
we
gonna
go.
get right to it.
Hey
Oh,
y'all, I'll be back.
oh, walk this walk, you need no boots. I see myself each time I look at you. Everything that I need, always been so good to me. Now show me how you do it. First things first, it's a real body. Born pretty, she don't need no practice. Do first class tickets just to fit that accent. Been through it and she moved right past it. That big body, big money, check your balance, yeah. She a 10 plus 3. Can't buy this honey and that shit ain't free. Look around you, ain't nobody average. You turn can't have it into a habit, yeah. Walk this walk, you need no moves. I see myself each time I look at you. Everything that I need, always been so good to me. Now show me how you do it. First things first, it's a real body. You can tell how I move. It's all got down to the bone. And you need two hands when you hold it. First thing first, it's a real body.
Say love is blind, but you gon' see it coming when you find a time like this. Babe, don't waste my time. I could change your whole life. I could make a thug cry. The way I talk my shit, wrapped around my finger, I'ma tighten my grip. Oh, you gonna need two hands when you hold it. Boy, I can't get enough of it.
Walk this walk, you need no boots. I see myself each time I look at you. Everything that I need,
Everything you need.
always been so good to me. Now show me how you do it. First thing first,
It's a real body.
you can tell how I move. It's all got down to the bone. And you need two hands when you hold it. First thing first, it's a real body.
Yeah, turn me up. I mean, this bitch with Teddy swim, Teddy swim. Booty stout, look how I sit up in them skins. All I wear is crop tops, you can tell I'm in the gym. Yeah, shot a trim, made him cut off his BM. My accent turned them on, they always asking where I'm from. Shit, you can look me up and find me on that bitch.com. Feeling like Mariah, got him wanting to touch my body. Pretty ass shape, looking like I photoshopped.
Walk this walk, you need no boots. I see myself each time I look at you. Everything that I need, always been so good to me. Now show me how you do it. First thing first,
It's a real body.
you can tell how I move. It's all got down to the bone. And you need two hands when you hold it. First thing first,
It's a real body.
She's got it. That's Teddy Swims.
Yeah, Teddy's pretty hard, man. He got some pretty good music. I'm interested to see. Have you heard him sing a cappella though?
Yeah, because you know what? I was used to follow him on YouTube before he got famous. He started off on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So he used to always do a cappella and stuff like that. That's when he was raw.
Yes, yeah. I
Mhm.
seen him. I want to say he was in the UK or somewhere like that.
Uh-huh.
And some little like event, outdoors event.
Mm-hmm.
Up on the mic, it was him and another cat singing. Hold on, I could be mistaken, but it was the one song I heard him sing that really got my attention was CeeLo Green's "Crazy."
Okay. Teddy, I can totally see that. I think
Yeah,
is that how is that I wonder if that's the cover where he got famous off of.
that it could be, man. Because right after that, I started seeing him everywhere. But yo, that's that he killed that one. He killed
Mm-hmm.
him and whoever else he was singing was good. But man, he rocked that shit. He rocked out, and that's not an easy song to sing. Not on that octave.
How do
Oh,
you
it's all
know?
good, Lucy.
How do you know?
I'm learning how to troll. My cousin's been teaching me how to troll. We have troll
I
sessions.
don't even know what a troll is.
Oh, you
Do
missed
I
it.
troll?
Yeah.
Troll
Oh,
is just to pick. That's just to pick on people, I think. But anyway, we're getting off track. We haven't even started the topic. Did you tell everybody hi? Hi, Lucy. I saw the Kents.
oh, Ken slid in here. What's good,
Yeah, I
everybody?
saw the Kents. They might be gone now.
Oh, True said
It's
he's touring
Friday.
with you. Jack. Yeah.
Oh, Tia says she's cooking. That means she's using the air fryer.
Yeah, she's lying. Okay, keep it moving.
Okay. Now,
Okay.
um, okay, listen. He's currently touring in the UK. Oh, okay. I get him and Jelly Roll mixed up
Jelly be
sometimes.
singing his ass off too, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I get
Okay.
troll. Not the troll icon.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially when you're really on YouTube, you are. I don't get them.
Well, you're not even on YouTube.
It's clearly.
You got to be on YouTube to get trolls. Hello.
That's clearly why I'm not on. I'm private. Fuck, man. I gotta get over this hump.
No, you don't. No, you don't. That's just how you are. You don't have to get over nothing.
Yeah, but it's just, I was having this conversation too, which is how do you balance that piece out, right? Because I'm a private person, but then in this space, you have to give access to a degree. So then, and what you see is legitimately what you get. So even on my other videos, I am the same person because it's genuinely me.
Mm-hmm.
So unless I'm playing a character, it's really hard to differentiate, right? Or to try to put something out there. Maybe that could be the answer. I don't know because
What do
it's
you?
really well, it's challenging for me to give access to my life in such a degree that even regular people don't have access to. Like everyday people don't have that access.
Mm-hmm.
Just like how you ask me what my location is, and I ignore that question every time. Just
Mm-hmm.
ask me what you want to know, and I'll tell you. But
Well, I just say turn on your location.
right, which is clearly what I'm not going to do. But at the same time, you ask, and I get it, right? But it's challenging to get that out there, and I don't know how to navigate that space as of yet. And so, for those of you who are already on, and you guys are moving and growing and doing your thing,
Mm-hmm.
um, I applaud that effort. I really do. That's something that I am struggling with, trying to figure out how to do it. I still want to be authentic, um, but then I'm also private too. So, finding out where
You
those
feel like
lines.
you need to show more of yourself, like your
Yeah.
personal life.
So, well, no,
What
like
do
so
you do?
when you're posting anything, right? You're putting yourself in that space.
Mm-hmm.
So unless I'm just not physically in the camera, but typically I am physically in the cameras on the videos that I've done, typically, or I'm narrating something. So it's still me though. So
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, it's just a point that
Yeah, I'm
kind
not
of.
sure where we're going with this.
Well, no, we don't have to go anywhere. It just was a
Just
statement.
I got
So in light of that, let's talk about someone
he
else
gets
who
on my
actually
nerves.
puts themselves
Not
out.
really. Oh, here, Truth understands. She understands. You muted.
Yeah, yeah, on purpose. Listen, we're 20
Come on,
minutes
just
in.
do
I
it.
haven't done it one time.
Just do it. Come
I'm
on.
doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good.
Okay.
Oh, listen, I'm taking this herb too. Listen, if you guys have not heard of this herb, I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Okay, put it in the chat. We want to learn something about. I need a. What does the herb do?
This herb helps to get mucus out of your system and out of your chest, your lungs, things of that nature, which we know that mucus actually is it's like the primary piece to sicknesses and diseases, right? So outside of if you don't have mucus, it's hard for any sickness or disease to exist. It has to have that to exist.
Oh, mucus. It needs mucus. Okay.
Mucus, it needs it, right? So
Hi,
you're
Liz.
starting to see a lot of mucus cleanses come on the market. I got introduced to this herb through a herb shop out here, and I've taken over the counter medicine in over the years or whatever the case may be. You get a cold, blah 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 blah. Um, I've never had something that worked as good as this, and it's just a herb, and I take it once to 2 times a day. Man, and the stuff that I'm able to get out easily, oh, it's fire! It's fire.
Okay. So, how often do you have to take it?
I usually take mine. It says on the bottle 1 to 3 times a day. I take it twice a day.
Okay.
And I've been taking it since I started this cold thing this week.
Did you
And
put it in the chat? I don't see it.
I'm talking, so
Oh
I'm
God, put it. Put the motherfucking herb in the chat. God, guys, what are we gonna do with him? Okay, look. Um, don't panic. Pivot is what it says at the bottom of the screen. Okay, but now we were talking about Snoop. Okay, and here's the herb, guys. Let's leave that up for a minute for all you clog ridden mucus builders. Where you get it from? Amazon?
you can. I got
Temu?
some from a herb shop, and then I went to Sprouts. Actually, I got the capsules from Sprouts, and so yeah, that stuff is working. It works, and it's not harsh on my system, but it helps you get it out, and then it's like you feel good about it though when it's happening. It's like, oh, okay, yeah. I've
When
had
it's
it.
coming out.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Usually this time of year I'll catch something. So
Look at this
it's
one. Look at
never
this one
been as
trying to
bad.
yell at me. Look at this one trying to yell at me. It's in
Come
the
on,
chat.
Mary Ann. Come on, come through.
We're not Marianne yelling at me. Wait 1 minute. What we won't do.
Come through. Come
Okay.
through. Good
Can't look
looking
at the
out,
Kent.
Mary
What
Ann.
are the Kents doing? Okay, that's not why we're here. We don't care. Okay.
We do care. We do care.
No, we don't.
We miss you though.
Okay,
We miss all you.
now here we go with this shit right here. Now they want to know the side effect.
No side
Oh
effects.
my God.
No side effects. So listen, and you know this is a really good point because we're all about everything that's good for you here.
Right,
And
right.
that's
We
just
are.
what we're about. So I've had absolutely no side effects from it. Um, I will say if you read up about it, it says what it does is it draws fluid or moisture or somehow it kind of pulls water into that area so then you can get the stuff out easy. So it helps though. And like I said, I've had my mother, matter of fact, is a herb fanatic. And she was telling me something about she was taking castor oil or something else.
Ooh,
And
I
she
remember that. That's old school.
listen,
That's
she tried that mullein. She was like, I ain't never been able to get that stuff out like that.
really.
So that's like now one of her go-tos to make sure to keep your system clear. So it's just been very helpful. And I've been talking about it every time because I mean I'm 40 something years old and I've never
40 what?
experienced something.
Why you
And
don't want to tell us how old you are?
because I didn't think it really mattered.
It
I'm in
does.
the
I want
40s.
to know. The people want to know. You're single. How old are you?
I'm 43.
He's 43,
Yeah.
single,
Yeah.
with
This is not a dating show.
children.
Yes.
Um,
You're
what's your
just gonna
credit
keep going.
score?
804.
Credit score of 804. Wait, is that
Wait.
possible?
Yes, it is.
What?
Yes, it is.
No. Wait, my phone. Look, somebody yell at her because I'm still waiting for my text. What text, Lee? What text? Oh, I was supposed to text Liz. Text about the whole thing about the sound bad. Did you hear this credit score? Come on, Liz. Y'all heard Drea. Drea.
Oh yeah.
Drea.
Wait a minute. You Yeah, see, I'm slipping. I used to get 30s. So I guess I'm crossing over.
Well, you definitely don't look 30.
No, I mean I used to get that.
43 and handsome. Oh, God.
Thank you.
Okay, listen. Back to the topic. Sheesh. Okay, look. This is what I'm gonna say. Liz, get back to Liz before we move on. We're just taking care of house rules. Everybody, thank you for coming in. If you're watching the replay, thank you so much. This is what we do. We are unlatched. We do have a topic. We'll get to it in a minute. It's just about Snoop. Sell out. Okay, now, um, well, Liz
Appreciate
wants
you.
you to text her the info about the sound bath.
Okay.
Okay, so
So
this is what I'm gonna do. Didn't I send you her number? Don't
um,
put it in the chat.
um,
This is for her,
I'm
for her area. You were
right.
gonna
So
tell her the
I'm
info.
gonna send the information right here. So look, you go to this is for anyone who could be listening or you if you're interested in participating in a sound bath that's local to your area, you could go on a website and there's an app, but it's called Meetup. And I do a lot of things on Meetup. As a matter of fact, I've gone to volleyball, like sand volleyball. I've seen that on there. There have been a lot of like processing groups for people who you might want to work through trauma type stuff. There's people who have groups and that's what they're doing. Our group, our nature group, is on that website. We do stuff in Vegas, and we actually advertise a lot of our events. All of our events, actually, we advertise through Meetup. Specifically, that's where you sign up, and that's where you reserve your spots at. So Meetup is not a
Is it
dating.
free? Is it free?
Yes, there is a paid side of it if you want to start looking at other people's bios. But if you're not there to look at people's bios or who they are, what they're talking about, and you just want to know more about like the group organizer, that stuff is already there, the free version. But I'm talking about there is no limit to the type of things you can find on this one. Toastmasters, people will do some of those Toastmaster events.
I don't know
So
what Toastmaster
okay,
is.
so Toastmaster is an organization that got started some years back. But what they do is they help people to get over the fear of public speaking,
Oh,
which
okay.
kind of builds your confidence for anything. So even at your job, you have to give a report where you have to publicly speak to a degree.
Hi,
So
Storm.
anyway, Toastmasters is a pretty neat one. I used to do that one some years back, but it's a really warm, community of people, and they're going to be somewhere around where you're at,
Who
guaranteed.
meetup is or
No,
Toastmaster?
Toastmasters. I'm talking about all this stuff. You'll
Oh,
find stuff in your area. So I looked up the area she lives in. I did find several different events. There was some online stuff that's marketed in that area, but there's also some physical in person spots and they're doing sound baths and they talk about it and they'll give you more info. So if you go to the website, you can go to meetup.com, put
okay,
in your
Liz. He's giving
area,
you the info right now, so I'm off the hook.
meetup.com.
Drea asked if the mullein is a liquid. Is it called mullein?
Yeah,
Liquid or a peel?
it can be both. I've seen the tincture, I've actually seen the vitamins, and I have two though. I have the actual pill version, but I also have the loose leaf tea version as well.
And
But
do
I got
you
those from
only
different
take it?
places.
Do you only take it when you have the mucus, or do you take it like a vitamin on a daily
Well,
basis?
again, this is new for me because
Okay.
I've not had much experience with it. But what I will say is, I've had no side effects. I've been taking it every day this week, and it's been very helpful. So I don't know if people are taking it every day or they
Okay.
do it just
So check with your
regularly.
doctor.
I probably, yeah, maybe so.
No,
But
I'm talking
I
about
would,
like the people, just in case somebody has an allergic reaction. We don't want to get sued. I don't have any. You have the better credit score, so they can't get anything from me.
well, I'm
Um.
just telling you what I take. So
Okay.
this is what I take. But shit, wait a minit. You can't sue me anyway because fucking Trump said drink bleach when COVID came out. And didn't nobody say shit to him about it.
Right.
So if you fuck with me
Oh,
over some mullet, we gonna have a problem.
look what Ray
But
Storm said.
yes, Toastmasters was fun. Had a good time doing that. But a lot of these little things you'll find them and they're free little stuff and it's around where you're at. And it's people that are kind of having a shared goal. Like, hey, I just want to kind of get over this fear of exposure, if you will, right? So being out in public, I have actually, they say, but it goes further than just public speaking because those types of events or those types of groups, they really help. It helps foster confidence, and then it helps you to get a lot of the ums and ahs and all that other stuff out of your speech
Oh,
because
so
you're
you
actually
need to take it again.
not necessarily because I don't do that quite often
You do.
unless I'm just okay. Well, I appreciate you saying that. But yeah, THC tincture. Now listen, Storm.
What is this? What is this? What is TH tincture? Is that something to do with the male part?
It's the How did you get that? How did
Because
you
you
get that from
you
that?
because you knew what it was and I didn't.
THC tincture.
What is
THC.
it? What is THC?
What is it? Tell me.
Is that the stuff in weed? Isn't that HTC? No, wait. Wait. THC. Is that in marijuana? Wait. I think that's him. It's the way he wrote. Look how he wrote it. Why did he write it like that with one capital and two lowercase? THC is capital T, capital H, and capital C.
Who said that?
Because that's how I know what it is, and I don't know what tincture means.
Context clues.
I got some THC tincture. What is tincture?
So that's the liquid version.
Oh, so
You put it
okay,
on
so
your
that's
tongue, put it under your tongue.
marijuana.
Hmm.
Okay, all of that. Just why couldn't somebody just tell me? Wait, what's going on here? Okay, what's going on here? Bleach. Yeah, he said that. No, what? No, okay. She said thank you, Dynamicist. Got it.
You're very welcome.
Spike Kick. Okay, listen. Can we talk about Snoop Dogg? Yeah, my ice
Let's
cream's
get to
coming, so
it.
I have to get up in a minute to
You
get
got to
my.
get up again. I thought you just said the
And
guy
my
got to the door.
and no, I went to go talk to Robert, but my smoothie's gonna be here in a little while. Okay, this is my smoothie. I can go get a smoothie. Okay, now, not yet. Okay, so let's talk about get back in the frame. You fell out. You went. Oh, there you go. There he's back.
Back here.
Look, see. Oh, thank you, Storm. He said it's for your channel protection. That's why he wrote it like that. Duh.
See?
He
It be all
said, then you go and define it. Okay, my bad. Okay. Listen.
I will say though, I I was wondering why people would use the terms unalived. I was wondering why I would see these like instead of saying sex, they'll write SEGGS, right? And I was like, why are people doing this shit? And why is this even important? But that comment right there tells me everything I need to know. I had no idea that all that kind of stuff can kind of get your page
Channel.
flagged or get your
Yeah.
channel flagged. I learned some shit today. Thank you so much for sharing that. I
Oh,
inferred quite a bit, but I
my
think I
Uber
might be close
driver
to it.
is African American.
I don't understand why you always order this shit right around this same time. You either cooking some shit
Here
around
he
this time.
is. He's African American.
We can't see him, but can you explain why do you do that though? Why is it always around the same time?
It's just a coincidence.
It's not a coincidence.
Why you can't see him? This is a conspiracy. This is a setup. He's look here. Look here. You can see him now. That's David. His name is David.
Why are you putting this information out here? For
He's
what?
coming with my smoothie. Let me go get it.
I think he can sue you.
Look. You such now I'm a hater. Okay, well let's play a song. People said they wanted to hear more music. Okay, we're gonna play another song. I gotta go get my mango. And Jason needs to gag. So we'll be back.
Problem is, I don't do anything different than I used to. You're the first one I told the truth to. Something's changing inside of me when I look at you. When I look at you. 'Cause, oh, don't say you feel the same way. Oh, clear as day and night. Baby, it's black and white. We know it feels right and it feels like the right time to love you. Baby, we barely touch. I'm ready to open up and we both know that when it feels right, it's black and white.
Differences between us, I know that some people see them. Yeah, your tattoos look like bad news, kinda taboo. If I had to, how can I explain it? You're the sunshine when it's raining. I wanna wake up with you by my side, let you get me high, keep my body levitating.
Oh, don't say you feel the same way. Oh, clear as day and night. Baby, it's black and white. We know it feels right and it feels like the right time to love you. Baby, we barely touch. I'm ready to open up and we both know that when it feels right, it's black and white. Black and ain't nobody tell me nothing about I'm ready, baby.
Yeah. Have you wine?
Yeah,
You and mine?
you and I. Oh,
Wait. I'm back.
Is it good?
Actually, this is my first time having it, and it's different. It has tahini in it. It's called a
Cool.
mango something.
So that was about what, $20 you just spent on that one smoothie? Was it?
Ooh, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
It was $12.
Plus your delivery.
Ooh.
Did you tip your driver
Mm-hmm.
for the one item?
Well, my husband got ice cream.
Oh, okay, for the two items.
He got. That's very different. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Do we want to talk about my ice cream? Would you like to talk about? It's not really ice cream.
No. So how about let's get to the video because we're moving. We got to get to it. Let's get to the
Don't
video.
tell me
So
what to do. I keep telling you that on the game. You do that on the game too. He's bossy.
I am not.
I want to talk to his exes.
For what? You've actually talked to them
I
already.
would like to talk to them about you. I want to know the truth. Girl, tell me everything. What I know this nigga got on your nerves. Tell me what happened. I want to know the tea, girl. Give me the tea. I know dynamics is a handful in a relationship for real. Cause I
I'm
can
a,
tell the nigga shut up and hang up, but could you imagine being married to him and you can't go nowhere? You stuck.
I'm
Why does it have to be stuck? That's so negative. My wait.
you listen. My stock was here. That
Uh-huh.
motherfucker is trending the opposite direction.
You want me to tell you how to get your stock back up?
No, never mind.
Let me. Let me. I had a good one. If you was to say yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
tell him your credit score. It's going to immediately go right back up instantaneously.
That's all I got to do.
That's it.
Or what if I told him my net worth? Would that help too? Huh?
Nigga, that shit is in
Would that help?
your DMs that go
Okay.
Scott, you going viral.
But then would that be what I want though?
No,
If
because
it
it would be genuine. Because they
okay.
really wouldn't give a damn for real.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm used to it. That's how people do me. They just flock to me, and I really. This
That's
is
what you
not
do.
about me. What's going on? This is getting out of control. Jason, take over.
You just tell me I'm bossy. I'm
Yeah,
sitting.
you are bossy. Okay. What you mean, getter dynamics is what's going on here? Am I behind on the chat? Oh, this must be what you told me. I'll do things when it's coming on. This shit is low key nasty. But anyway, it's thick. Why is it so thick? Maybe
Mm,
anyway. That, okay,
mm.
listen. That
That could go a couple different ways.
ew.
I'm gonna stay focused on this one.
I wouldn't know.
I'm sure you wouldn't. Will you put that motherfucking smoothie down? Play the video. Shit. God damn. You don't even like the motherfucking. You sitting here just with
That's
the
what I
with your
told you.
pursed lips. Fuck is this?
Wait, when I was doing it, I was like, you were doing the mo. And I was like, it's that greedy spirit. And this look what this nigga talking about some greedy, greedy. Okay, get to the video. Let's go.
Y'all watch this
We
video.
Let's get to the video. We gotta go.
This
Let's
shit
get to
is
the.
hilarious.
Which one am I playing? The one with the Snoop, the one with the we talked about this, you guys, before we got started. Okay, here we go. Come on. I'm sharing my screen. Come on, stop playing. I'm sharing. Present. Share. No more talking. I gotta get to the video. Dynamics is. Okay.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. I thought you left. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Come on, guys. Share. Here we go. We're up and at 'em.
Perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigger gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the out of one of you Uncle Tom for doing it. Which one of you gonna do it first? I suppose the one that performs for himself.
Now, this was a couple years ago, so he technically wasn't the first one to perform for Donald Trump. But at least, like, back up what you were saying a couple years ago, or at least let us know why all of a sudden you changed your mind on it. Now, I don't blame him because he probably got paid a fat bag to DJ at this event, and that's most likely going to be his response to the situation, saying, like, man, they paid me so and so $1 million to DJ for these white folks for 30 minutes. Of course I was going to take the bag. Which, sure, but it doesn't look too good when Elon Musk even jumps in and says the vibe shift is real with a laughing emoji. Now, even the unstoppable ladies over at The View
Hold
had something
on.
to say about the situation, questioning why Snoop Dogg was doing this to begin with, which
Wait.
is bad in itself. Because
Did you see that?
Yes.
Elon
vibe.
Musk, he clowned?
The vibe shift is real. You know, I wouldn't even necessarily say he's clowning, but at the end of the day, it's like you're not even a part of the culture. What the fuck are you talking about? And the culture I'm talking about is not just black in general, but it's just the socioeconomic status. That's where that comes from. So it's like you don't even understand what that actually means. But he
The whole
used it.
the vibe. You saying the word vibe
Yeah,
shit.
the vibe shift is real. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh God, it's these people. But you know what that means. But you also don't consider that Hail Hitler shit was okay. Like you think that was just we can overlook that one.
Yeah.
But you understand culturally what the vibe shift means, but that action you don't
You
seem to
actually
see
you
any
stuck
problem.
on stupid. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like, oh
You
no,
can't
that
see how we got that.
how
You
we
can't
come
see
to
how
that
we
conclusion.
right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we jumping to conclusions, but you know that. Let me tell you, I just can't believe. Okay, let's just keep going. That is crazy to me. Here we go.
Because The View sucks. Like, they suck.
If you spoke up against Trump January 7th, 2021, but you were there now applauding him like a trained SEAL, Donald Trump has not changed. You've changed. Yeah.
Getting called a trained SEAL is crazy to me. But this is how these people treat you if you don't agree with them.
Oh yeah, that's
Personally,
crazy
I
work.
would have to question your intelligence if you're political.
What she said?
It's crazy work. It's better than her calling him a trained monkey. That would have been bad.
Right, trained SEAL.
A trained SEAL, but
She
still
knew
was
better
like,
than
God damn it. You know what I mean? So it's like, wait a minute.
I don't even know who she is.
I don't. It doesn't matter. But she had a point though. She
Mhm.
had a solid point. Like
Mhm.
I think the discourse is hilarious, but yeah. Nevertheless, crazy
Okay.
work.
Crazy work. Here we go. Oh wait, I gotta press play. Here we go. What is he talking about?
Is that Ralph? Who's that?
That's Suge Knight. You know that's Suge Knight. But he's
Snoop
red.
Dogg agrees on, but I think it's very funny that some people look at it like, oh, well, Snoop Dogg's not rocking with him, YG's not rocking with him, we shouldn't rock with him.
The black community was not fucking with Trump, you know what I'm saying? But when that PPP and all that came out, black people forgave him.
So it confuses a lot of people when these celebrities say something and then they get a fat check, turn around, and end up performing for the person they say they hated. And to make matters worse, we got Elon looking like he's throwing up a goddamn salute. Which got so bad that the ADL had to step in and say, like, let him be, he's weird. Which I wholeheartedly agree with. I think Elon is just a very awkward person. Every time I see him speak at anything, I want to crawl out of my skin out of, like, secondhand embarrassment.
That the alien, there's no like aliens visited. Like,
but we kind of got to sit back and analyze the big shift that's happened over the years. Back in 2016, you couldn't wear a Trump hat without being stoned to death. And now it's like, oh, okay, well, he's not that bad, guys. He won twice.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets. My proudest legacy will be that of a peacemaker and unifier. That's what I want to be.
Which makes a lot of celebrities look dumb because now they got to go back on their word since a lot of their audience no longer feels the same way they do anymore. So it's kind of like, damn, this is awkward.
It will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
And honestly, I can't blame Snoop Dogg, especially because he's not the only rapper to feel
I
this
needed
way.
to
I mean,
come
the
back
man
to
has freed a lot of rappers who were in jail. Not that him freeing them should mean.
You said what?
I need us to come back to that. We got to come back to that point too.
Well, let's go back. Well,
No.
I don't want to miss it. Keep going.
Yeah.
Make sure you remember.
I got you.
Make you like him, especially because people are saying that that's the reason why he did it to begin with, to have the people be like, hey, well, he freed our favorite rappers, we should definitely like him. But Kodak Black is like, yo, this is my president, I would die for him because he freed me from a situation I probably would be in jail for still.
Even though he probably don't need it. If he needed $1 million, would you give him $1 million?
Of course, nigga.
And the whole ASAP Rocky situation was pretty crazy too.
I have been called by so many people asking me to help ASAP Rocky. Actually, the one who knew about ASAP Rocky was our first lady. right? And she was telling me about, can you help ASAP Rocky?
Especially with Donald Trump's viral tweet where he said it was a rocky week. Get home ASAP, which is hilarious for him to even tweet. And speaking of ASAP Rocky,
okay, this is a lot. I'm not gonna remember none of this. What is going on with this? I love this video. It's breaking it all down. What is happening? What's wrong with him?
I never heard that one. That's new to me.
Please let me just go back a little bit. What? This nigga looked at what's her name? What's the wife's name?
Melania. I think. Is it
Melania? She wanted ASAP. What? Wait. Okay, here we go. We're gonna keep going, guys. We gonna keep going. Hold on. I can't.
He's currently again in legal trouble.
I'm going back just a little bit.
So many people asking me to help ASAP Rocky. Actually, the one who knew about ASAP Rocky was our first lady, right? And she was telling me about.
Why is her fist balled up like she wants to sock him on the side of his head? Look at her fist.
Oh, because everybody knows.
Look,
everybody knows she is 2 steps away from giving him a 2-piece, and she be like, "Have you seen her at some of the events?"
No.
So I want to say it was at the inauguration. She had on a hat, or it was one of those other lead up events to that. But she had on this whole hat with a brim.
I kind of think I remember
he
that.
He leaned in to try to kiss her, and she brimmed his ass. Oh, it was cold. I don't wish that shit on my worst enemy. Because as a man, that's some really painful shit to experience when your wife or somebody that you love.
When she shunned.
Yeah, but that's
shunned. Well, we could talk about it. You want to talk? That's why I want to sit down.
That's a painful. Yeah, that's painful.
Yeah,
but he probably doesn't give a fuck anyway. So at this point,
okay, let's get back to it. Look at her fist balled up. Hold on, we're gonna finish it. Come on, guys.
That's 2 pieces.
Let's look at the fist.
By so many people asking me to help ASAP Rocky. Actually, the one who knew about ASAP Rocky was our first lady, right? And she was telling me about, can you help ASAP Rocky?
Especially with Donald Trump's viral tweet where he said it was a rocky week. Get home ASAP, which is hilarious for him to even tweet. And speaking of ASAP Rocky, he's currently again in legal trouble after allegedly firing a gun at a former friend and facing maybe around 24 years after he just refused a plea deal. So we have yet to see what's going to go on with that situation.
Is accused of firing a gun at a former friend outside a Hollywood hotel in 2021. He has pleaded not guilty, and his lawyer says Mayers is looking forward to clearing his name. If convicted, Mayers could get a maximum sentence of 24 years in prison.
But you kind of got to give it to the man. I mean, he's really trying to get the entire culture to back him up. He's trying to change the perception that everybody's been having about him for the past couple of years, and it's somewhat working. I mean, we have a lot of people like Lil Pump, or as Trump calls him, Lil Pimp, come out and support him. Not that it matters in any way, shape, or form, but it's a thing.
And speaking of sound, music, and other things, one of the big superstars of the world, Lil Pimp.
I also find it hilarious that Rick Ross is one of the people that went with Snoop Dogg, because if you don't remember, Rick Ross was one of the people who said that Drake was a white boy.
White boy, BBL Drizzy, I got a question. I don't need you for a remix, white boy.
But I don't see Drake over at Trump's rally. Now, Nelly also attended this event and said, this is not a campaign trial. This is not anything that I feel like I'm influencing people to sway how they feel, but it's more about the respect and the honor of being invited for what I like to call the greatest country on the planet. He then said, regardless of the differences we have, it's all about coming together and being positive. He also said it's an honor for him to perform for the president of the United States, regardless of who is in office. He also said that it's not political, and he's not trying to tell anybody who they should vote for.
So what I tend to say is, do your own homework and make your own decisions about it. But what I will say is that I respect the office. This isn't politics. The politics for me, it's over. He won. He's the president. He's the commander-in-chief of what I would like to say is the best country in the world. Are you a Trump supporter? Am I a Trump supporter? I support the office of I support the president of the United States.
Wait. Now, come on. Well, that sounds like he talking in circles. It's like if the glove don't fit, you must acquit.
regardless of who's in office.
Now, Snoop Dogg infamously doesn't think this way. He doesn't agree that even though he's the president, he should receive the same amount of respect as anybody else.
If you like that, you motherfucking racist. You and him. Now what?
What?
You draw the line. He drew the lines.
Exactly.
He drew the lines. Before him, there were no lines. Everybody was everybody. We respected everything. We didn't trip. When you drew the line, you can start pointing.
No, that's not true, Dynamicist. There's always been a line.
Because out and sing y'all didn't.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
You and them.
If you're just tuning in, we're
Kanye
talking about Donald
too. Don't forget about him too. You too.
So I see him coming out and saying that the only reason why he went to the event was because he wanted to support crypto. Because it probably doesn't look that good for him to be all of a sudden best friends with Donald Trump for no reason.
That's that crypto, see? They let a real crip up in the crypto ball.
Oh, it's the ghetto for me.
Bang, bang.
For a lot of these artists, having a platform is really just siding with what the public opinion wants or what they think the public opinion wants to hear. And this is exactly what these rappers are doing. Everybody hated Trump back in 2016, so it was cool to hate Trump. And now that a lot of people are trying to switch vibes, they're like, okay, well, now it's starting to become cool to rock with Trump. And I can relate this to a personal level because I too was one of these kids who was walking around saying F Trump everywhere I went. For example, the first presidential debate happened at my university, and I was walking around saying F Donald Trump. I literally have a video of it still. F Donald Trump! And now I'm kind of like, damn, this is embarrassing. I don't agree with what I used to say. But what I do agree with is admitting when you're wrong or when your opinion changes. Because at the end of the day, we're not all going to have the same opinion for the rest of our lives. We grow, our opinion changes, we see things go differently, and you're like, you know what? I don't think that anymore. And admitting that is part of growth. Now, a lot of us aren't politicians, so there's no reason to blindly hate people. And in my personal opinion, I feel like that's something we've all unconsciously been doing for a while, especially if you're a minority like myself. You've probably looked at Trump at some point and correlated him with being a racist. It also doesn't help when we got people like Kanye West, who have been vocal supporters of Trump and even went out of their way to go meet Trump, come out and support him during a time where it looks like he's having a serious mental breakdown.
But I love this guy right here. Let me give this guy a hug right here. I love this guy right here. Yeah, hey man. That's really nice.
That's really nice. Wait. Okay, let me stop sharing. Stop sharing. Okay. Hi, No Fly. So what do you think? Look, her fist was already balled up, right? Yeah, if the glove. I mean, this was just crazy. He was talking in circles. This is just a whole shit show. But anyway, back to Snoop. Do you think that he owes anybody an explanation, or he should be accountable for at least telling us why? I thought that said he apologized. I didn't see an apology anywhere there. Did you?
Not at all. Not at all. And some people said he did, but whether he did or didn't, I think it's irrelevant. I think the purpose, we've got to kind of look at the larger picture, right? And the reality is, and this kind of echoes back to that statement I was making earlier. I think it's unfair when two things in this one. I think it's unfair to hold people fully or wholly accountable for the mistakes that they've made before, if they consider them a mistake, right? Or whatever the case may be. I'm just saying, let's say, hypothetically speaking, person makes a mistake, they consider it a mistake later on, and then they do their due diligence. I think it's unfair to keep holding a person hostage based on the decisions that they've made yesterday.
Okay.
I.e., the law reform, i.e., prison reform, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of people who have been found on the other side of the law don't often get a second chance. And corporations, businesses, et cetera, they redline them to a degree. And that's a term I use to describe it, because if you associate it with property, you understand it the same way that they're trying to get access to resources or a job is very similar. They redline them and they force them to be able to only work in these arenas, right? You can't go over here. You can't do this. You can't You can't better yourself and get to a point, realistically speaking, that you could have always belonged there, right? Because they're geniuses in prison, absolute geniuses in prison. And I don't think people give enough credit for the people that are in jail or have been to jail or are in prison or have been to prison. There are some absolute geniuses that has nothing to do with because they got caught committing a crime or in the wrong place at the wrong time, that you should forever look at them like that. This relates to him because, again, maybe he had a change of heart. Maybe he grew. Maybe he matured. I don't fucking know. I really don't know.
Doesn't he? Oh, that's the problem. We don't know. Like, make it make sense. Just like with everything else, right? Like,
But
I
does he
mean,
owe us an apology when he didn't ask us for permission?
I don't think he owes us an apology. No, but an explanation, I think so.
But he
Does
never
he
asked
have
us
to?
for permission. I think what you're describing though, I think the hurt that came after seeing that, and I'm talking about as far as seeing the original video when that came out, and then fast forward and you hear about him and the few people that were going to be there at the inauguration. And then in light of that inauguration, all the things that have happened in the first 10, 11 days of his presidency. So it's like, so you, in essence, the feeling is like, man, you endorsed all of this shit. And I don't know if that's what really the thought process. I don't know if that's fair for people. I did not vote. So I'm not the one here saying, oh, we should have did this or did that. I have my own reasons for that. But at the end of the day, I think that makes me objective to a degree because looking at both ends of it, I can look at it fairly clearly.
Mm-hmm.
I know bullshit when I see it. I know bullshit when I smell it. I know bullshit when I hear it.
And when you
So
taste,
I don't typically eat shit, but if I did, I
you would.
probably
You
could
would know
recognize
it.
it. I
Yeah.
probably could recognize it.
Yeah. I think
But
so.
but did he ask us for permission to be exalted to this place in our life? What was really fucked up about that whole piece though? There was the people that Trump had recognized. You know what's really fucked up?
Right.
To me is this. Of all the brilliant men and women and men and children that share the same socioeconomic status, that's not who is being propped up as being voices of reason. You prop up entertainers? Fucking entertainers? Not theologians, not historians,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Not scientists, not teachers.
Because it's a reality show. Remember I'm saying that? That's just like it's real.
Fucking reality show.
Yeah.
And to consider that these are the people that and then granted, I guess those are the people that were at the inauguration for to shuck and jive in the way that they do. And it is what it is. They're not typically on a pedestal in my eyes, but at the same time, I understood why people were frustrated though, because when you feel like so many things are not going your way, you hold out hope that maybe I'm not alone in this. And some of the people that have access to these arenas, it is somewhat pride inducing to hear them stand up vocally and say, nah, fuck that, we ain't going. And I
Yeah.
think back to the 60s movement, when the civil rights movement, when there was the bus strike. And you
Mhm.
know how powerful that was though at that time period, which actually proved a point. And it proved a point that became true, and it still holds true to today. Your economic dollars do matter as a collective. That's where change actually happens. And if you notice that it was after that social right, civil rights and all that stuff didn't just benefit people of color. And I think that's gotten lost in translation. It benefited women and their rights to work. It benefited whether you were black, Hispanic, whether you were whatever you were, coming from wherever you came from, you were immigrants, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It opened the door to you having a level of rights. That's what the civil rights movement did. Matter of fact, LGBTQ movement happened as a result of the civil rights movement. So based on the advancements that were made there was what opened those doors.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't outright discriminate against people on the basis of some trivial bullshit.
Which he wants to allow that to happen again. But okay.
That's where a lot of people are concerned right now. Is a lot of people are feeling like we're on our way back down that slide. And we're getting to a point where, a lot of our liberties are being stripped away, and they're going to be stripped away little by little. And so I think when you ask the question, though, does he, no, not really, because maybe he was never really a part of that struggle. He was never really a part of that concern, and that concern doesn't necessarily affect him. I'll give you guys a good storyline that goes along with how privilege sometimes is blinding. And I've seen this play out when it comes to what I term as pretty person privilege. There's that one. Obviously, we know about male privilege, and we know about white privilege, and we know about a lot of different other things, a lot of different other privileges. But what's interesting is that when you are privileged in any way, it's hard for you to acknowledge that another option exists, because in your world, it's never affected you like that. And the people that are within your circumference oftentimes reflects the same image. So, and the image I'm talking about is not social. It's actually just the fact of people being present around you, whatever their racial makeup. It doesn't really matter at this point. If it's wealth, then you are surrounded by people that typically have money. You don't typically see people who are wealthy living in impoverished neighborhoods. You don't typically see that. Every now and then, but not often. So the point of the matter is that you're going to be surrounded by people. If you're raised around that, then you typically think that everybody's case is the same. I heard Donald Trump saying something one time, and I don't have a problem with this, but it gives context. He said, in essence, he was trying to say that he got it from the bottom, right? He got it out the mud. But what he said was, my dad didn't give me anything. And I quote, he only gave me $1 million to start. Now,
only
to most of us, we're like, nigga, $1 million? Are you fucking kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
That's an unbelievable leg up. To him, in the world in which he comes from, that wasn't shit. $1 million was nothing to those people, right? Because 10, 15, 20, 30 million is how you really get something popping in their minds, right?
Mm-hmm.
So again, I think when it comes to privilege, it's hard for you to see that there's another side. Exists because that's your privilege. I think when it comes to us being compassionate as humans, though, is being able to get beyond that and being able to actually hear what other people's scenarios are. And this is the story I was going to tell you. And I was talking to a lady who she comes and takes care of things in the house, and she's Hispanic. And I asked her, I said, let me ask you a question. I said, how do you, I said, is there any specific kind of talk going on right now in the Latino community around you where they're talking about like the ICE situation and the detainments and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And, based on the statistics, Latinos, Latinx or whatever, that community, the Latin community voted pretty heavily for this administration. And she said, well, not really, she said, a lot of times people don't talk about that kind of stuff because it causes people to get upset. And then, potentially you look at people differently. So everybody's kind of just like acting like, it doesn't exist to a degree. Right. And I said, yeah, that's interesting. I said, I can relate to that. So how does that kind of affect you? And she was like, well, I'm a legalized citizen here. She said, but I know those experiences firsthand. And she was saying when this happened the first time, and when his first, inauguration period, she said she was in Arizona and she was like, well, my family, I got caught one day and where they stop you and then they ask you for your paperwork. But it's like there was no reason to stop me. And I had never experienced that up until that point. And she was like, and so we always have to be mindful to keep our passports on us, not even just a driver's license, right? To keep my passport on me along with my driver license and other documentation at time to prove that I am a legalized citizen. But she said, but even then, people still sometimes were detained. And she got detained just at the traffic stop, but she did get let go. And she said, and it's really kind of fucked up. She said, because I drive around, and this is what she was saying that people do talk about is the fear of driving around while Mexican or driving brown. And I said, it's really interesting that you would say it like that because that's something very similar to things that people of color have experienced, driving while black. And I didn't have the opportunity to really kind of keep going further, but what I wanted to ask her was, when that scenario was happening to people of color, did it even register when it was happening when black people were complaining about by driving DWB? It's like, did it register that this is an issue? Or and what was the state, what was your state, did it feel the same? And it's likely that it doesn't, but I think that's a piece where we have to be open to communicate with each other. And I think with along with our ability to communicate, it makes a big difference, right? In how we grapple with information. Because I think a lot of misinformation goes out there and people are getting lumped into categories that they don't really belong in. I think that as an icon, you do have a responsibility, but at the same time, that's the stance that Kendrick Lamar has taken when he calls out the music industry and the shit that they're doing. It's like, you have this opportunity, use it for something productive.
Mhm.
And I think that's where the line is being drawn in the sand. So it's understandable. It's very understandable.
Yeah. And then and it's we put these, and we don't just do it to artists, but we do it to preachers, we do it to teachers, we do it to whatever. We put these people on these pedestals. But part of me feels like, some part of me feels like you do have a responsibility because you're in this role. You do have some responsibility to the people that follow you, and whatever. And then the other part of me is that we also have to keep a level head, that these are people just like you and I. You know what I'm saying? They're not any, their title doesn't make them any different. So just like, you know, motherfuckers right next to you could be wishy-washy, so can these people you put on these pedestals, because they're humans. And I don't know. When it comes to, Snoop, he lost over 500,000 followers.
Really? Did he?
Mm-hmm. He lost over 500,000 followers after that shit. I don't really believe in the cancel culture, because R. Kelly wasn't really canceled. All these people weren't really canceled for real. Um, you know, I wanted to go back to something Triple said. He said, I'd be happy with just my rent being paid. And that's majority of us. And I was telling Dynamics is this earlier when I talk about certain things, it's like it always has to, for me, it always has to come back to my everyday life and how I apply it every day. And really, for most people, that's what it comes down to, your everyday shit. And it's like, um, we could sit and talk about Snoop, Rick Ross, all whatever we want to talk about. Um, Trump, but I do feel like it was one point in my life where I didn't care or I wasn't following anything and I didn't really want to know. You know, the ignorance is bliss type shit. But now I still am not fully immersed, but I'm open and I'm listening and I'm more aware. Because when we talk about pivoting and pivoting with purpose, you're going to need to pivot today more, nowadays, more, probably more than ever before, and be ready to pivot when it's time. So it's kind of like stay ready so you don't have to get ready, because we just don't know where this shit is headed. We know it don't feel right. We know something ain't right. And you're going to have the people that conform, like the Snoops, and fall into place and fall in line because they can. And they're not worried about what it looks like to you, because who are you? You can do a video, Snoop, on your Instagram and say it's all about love for me. You can hate all day, but I'm still loving on y'all. Yeah, yeah, and sit back and smoke your weed and do whatever you're doing, right? Because you can. You got money. You got your family set. You know what I'm saying? Um, so it's easy for you to say. But for somebody who's just trying to get their rent paid, who's somebody whose privileges are um on the line, their everyday rights are about to get snatched. Um and I know some people are quick to say, "Oh, this is just the LGBTQ and that the administration is targeting. These are just the immigrants, the illegals that they're targeting. It doesn't affect you. Why do you care? He's not talking about you. Yeah, not now, maybe. Not to your face. Not to your face. But you think this shit with all that's going on now, you think this shit just happened 20 days ago? They've been planning this shit for years. This is the plan. This is I believe this is the plan. This is manifesting the way they planned it to. So who knows what's to come. But I do feel like we got to be ready. And something else that Drea said, and she said, I'm gonna leave it at this. And she said, we have to train for ICE to possibly come pick up some of our kids. We discussed it in our admin meeting today. My babies that I love, that's all. Because she works for schooling. So I saw this. So so basically they had an administrative meeting today. Like we would train for an earthquake in California for, you guys, they got these admin now training for ICE to come possibly pick up some of those kids. So what are we supposed to do if these motherfuckers come knocking? That's crazy.
Golly.
That's crazy.
That is. And you think about the amount of people that affects, and so consider that as a woman who, as a melanated woman who's had experiences and is aware of certain histories that have been that have affected her and her family, right? To sit there and for you to say that I need you to participate and be complicit in this shit, even though you may vehemently disagree with that. But the option or the only options that's at my disposal would be you either quit or you acquiesce. And I think when you consider what's happening in our country, this is not accidental. And I'm going to share this with you because I got this email. So you guys know, most of you guys know, I left my job in November and I was working for the federal government. But January, this month, not too long ago, actually, I want to say it was this week, earlier this week, he sends out they sent out a letter from the Office of Personnel Management, and that's like directly connected to the federal government. And they said, you in essence have two options. You can take a resignation packet and leave, or your duties are obviously going to change. Because it's not what they specifically said, but it's what they left out, right? Because when you send that and the wording of it tells us, okay, so there's some changes that's going to be made, and not only the changes are going to be made, but it was a very strongly stated. And when you consider this shit almost looked like spam because it was like 2 paragraphs. it was so fucking to the point. Like, look, there was no hoopla, no wooty whoop, no nothing. It was, listen, here's what it is. Very black and white to the point. And they send that out and they blasted that to all federal employees. Which in light of this, there are some teachers that work federally, but they're isolated. But more importantly though, FAA is federal. Any of your governmental functions outside of your state functions, those are federal. So those people got those emails too, just as like we did in my own office. And there's been an unbelievable response to that though, because what they didn't realize is that the type of stress that it puts on people, because you want me to do something that I don't personally agree with. And when I left my job in November, one of my statements to people was that my values didn't line up with it anymore, because my values are different and I value people over process. So all of that, factored into a decision, but it's really fucked up because here's the part with the way that we are pigeonholed into choosing to only focus on my household. I think that is the strategy that's been employed. And I think that strategy has been effective, because when you tie my hands, what else can I choose?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
what else can I do? I've got to pay my bills. Like Mukbang said, I got to pay my bills. I got to pay my rent. And if I feel like this presidency or administration can help me pay my rent, it's like, well, what else do you expect me to choose? Like, it's survival at this point for me.
Mm-hmm.
And going back to that conversation I had, one of the statements that she made was that a lot of people within the community deep down do feel betrayed though, because a part of what he was saying was that we're going to make it better for you to get your citizenship. We're going to remove all of these barriers out the way, and then to turn around and now you're going to go into schools, the safe havens. The safe havens that have always been safe havens were schools, churches, and what was the other place? Was it hospitals? supposed to be like the places like you. There's no.
Yeah, you're safe there. Yeah.
You're safe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but not even there. And then there's a task force that's been set up
Specifically for that.
specifically for it. And here's the part though that really is fucked up though. They incentivize snitching.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm reading this stuff, I can't help but go back to the storylines associated with the Underground Railroad. Whereas if you were snitched on that you were helping black people get free from slavery, you were held liable. Just simply for that action. Just simply because there was a tip that came in and said, hey, Jim over here is harboring slaves. Not only could you lose your life, you could lose your property, you could lose everything that you've earned
The
or
person
gained.
harboring them.
The person harboring.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
And I couldn't help but feel like, damn, that sounds so eerily familiar. It sounds so similar to what the tactics that were used to enforce these policies, whether they're appropriate or not. And I'm not the person that says, hey, well, you know, there's nothing that you should do and blah, blah, blah. But I will tell you this. I know that the statistics that they're using to suggest that these people, a matter of fact, the young lady who I think she was in Athens, Leakin Riley, um, who unfortunately got murdered while she was, I think, jogging or something like that, and it was an undocumented immigrant. Well, that's who they're calling this the Leakin Riley Act, right?
Okay.
And it was based on her and her storyline, and his thing was because he's been caught doing several things previously.
Who's he? Who's
the
he?
guy who murdered her and was an
Oh.
undocumented immigrant.
Okay.
Right. So they're using that, you know, to ride on the basis of this is why we have to do this, right? We got to protect our border. We got to protect your families. And if you hear them,
just like they're using their plane crash for DUI.
DEI.
Oh, I mean, excuse me.
I'm sober now.
I'm still sober. Even this is a mango from Baskin Robbins. Not DUI, dummies. It's DEI. Go ahead. I corrected them. Go ahead, Dynamics.
So
yeah, just like that, using that. Okay, go ahead.
Using that, and you know, if you go back, if you go back to historically, in I want to say it was 1937. It was when they removed marijuana from being a legal substance, right? Originally, but the platform that they ran on, though, platform that they ran on then was marijuana makes Mexican men rape white women. No, I think it was for black men rapes white women based on their marijuana usage, and
Hi, keep it real.
Commit crimes or some shit like that. But this was the platform, and that's how they moved it through legislation. And so a lot of these bills, and when I see the same tactics are employed, it gives me pause though, because if you're using this to try to appeal to my agreement or acquiescence to this, to the whatever this is, it tells me that you don't have enough information to really base this on something solid. So what you're talking about, this is more of an agenda than it is something that's really truly meant to help and to help people in the way in which it's presented. Because clearly,
that's called a lie.
Well, yeah. But clearly, if you have to use and the falsification of information to now push it forward, just like what happened with the FAA. And if anybody out there, if you've been affected by that directly or indirectly, man, my heart and prayers go out to you. I fly a lot. That's fucking with me.
I know.
Behind the scenes, right?
Right.
Because politics should have nothing to do with people's safety. Absolutely nothing to do with people's safety. But and I listen, and I don't watch a lot of this shit, but I actually listened to that one. And I listened to the address and about the situation that took place when the helicopter and the plane crashed in DC. And I was hurt by that, because I said, at a time like this, if that were me, my family, or someone else, or whatever the case may be, I wouldn't give two fucks about who you trying to blame about a situation. But that was the opportunity
You're
you took.
supposed to run to a crisis. I remember when I was working with Verizon, and they used to have it on the board in the office, like they had it painted on the board. And that was one of our things, is that we run to a crisis, not away from it. Now that was just a slogan in the office, okay?
Mhm.
Now if Verizon back then knew that, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that was how we operated. Like when you see some shit going down, don't look the other way. Just get it fixed, get with it, take care of it. We'll fix the rest in the back end. Just do the right thing. Now you the damn president of the United States, and you can't do that. I mean, that was some bullshit. That
Yeah.
whole little address. I want to play this thing right here about with that Hughley, that little 2-minute clip. And
Yeah.
he said, "We now live in a country where the truth carries more consequences than a lie." I thought this was deep. I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna share this screen here. Yeah, here we go. Let's listen to this. It's only 2 minutes.
That was LL Cool J, Around the Way Girl. I was reading a news article that was talking about how a weatherman got fired in, I think, Indiana, for saying that Elon Musk did a Nazi salute. I've noticed that the ADO came out and they said, well, it wasn't a Nazi salute, and I challenged it. And I said earlier this week, if you did that anywhere, if you did that in Russia, if you did that in Germany, if you did that in Austria, you go to jail. We all know what it is. But since there are people now who control almost every aspect of the information we get, that man told the truth on his news station and lost his job. There are people now. There's a reason why powerful people control media. They control the message. Now it's just not media in at large. It is social media too. There's a reason why TikTok was banned. Now it's going to be bought by, it can potentially bought by Elon Musk or somebody else of that ilk. There's an attempt to control the truth and how we see it. The truth of the matter is that Donald Trump is a convicted felon who pardoned other convicted felons. That is the truth. The truth is that Elon Musk did a Nazi salute. That is the truth. And no matter, but it's an interesting thing because now we're in conflict with the truth. And it's so Orwellian that I felt compelled to read you some of his quotes from the book 1984. He says that, and if all others accepted the lie which the party imposed, if all records told the same tale, then the lie passed into history and it became the truth. He who controls the past controls the future. In times of universal deceit, telling the truth will become a revolutionary act. Just saying what you saw is an act of revolution. However much you deny the truth goes on existing as it were, even if it's behind your back. The ministry of truth with lies, the ministry of love with torture, and the ministry of plenty with starvation. That is where we are right now. That 1984, George Orwell's idea of 1984 is Trump 2025. That is a little note from the GED section. Got a jazz report coming up in 15 minutes.
Man, how you like them apples, boy?
Yeah, that's heavy.
That was deep, wasn't it?
That was very deep. As a matter of fact, you probably should run that back one more time.
Yeah, I think so.
Run that back one more time.
Here we go. Is everybody in here? Hello? Listen, guys. Come on, guys. This is important. Okay, we're going from the beginning. Is that a book, Jason? 1984?
Yeah, I believe it is actually.
I want to read.
About George Orwell.
Orwell. I'm going to look him up. Okay, here we go. Cause okay, let me just play it. Go.
That was LL Cool J, Around the Way Girl. I was reading a news article that was talking about how a weatherman got fired in, I think, Indiana, for saying that Elon Musk did a Nazi salute. I've noticed that the ADL came out and they said, well, it wasn't a Nazi salute, and I challenge it. And I said earlier this week, if you did that anywhere, if you did that in Russia, if you did that in Germany, if you did that in Austria, you go to jail. We all know what it is. But since there are people now who control almost every aspect of the information we get, that man told the truth on his news station and lost his job. There are people now. There's a reason why powerful people control media. They control the message. Now it's just not media in at large. It is social media too. There's a reason why TikTok was banned. Now it's going to be bought by, it can potentially bought by Elon Musk or somebody else of that ilk. There's an attempt to control the truth and how we see it. The truth of the matter is that Donald Trump is a convicted felon who pardoned other convicted felons. That is the truth. The truth is that Elon Musk did a Nazi salute. That is the truth. And no matter, but it's an interesting thing because now we're in conflict with the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so Orwellian that I felt compelled to read you some of his quotes from the book 1984. He says that, and all others, and if all others accepted the lie which the party imposed, if all records told the same tale, then the lie passed into history and it became the truth. He who controls the past controls the future. In times of universal deceit, telling the truth will become a revolutionary act. Just saying what you saw is an act of revolution. However much you deny the truth goes on existing as it were, even if it's behind your back. The ministry of truth with lies, the ministry of love with torture, and the ministry of plenty with starvation. That is where we are right now. That 1984, George Orwell's idea of 1984 is Trump 2025. That is a little note from the GED section. Got a jazz.
Universal deceit.
Yes.
Universal deceit. Mm-mm-mm.
And
Scary.
when you consider that what he was talking about, so I'm gonna read to you just a little piece,
okay,
as an overview of this particular book that he just quoted from. It says it's a dystopian novel, 1984, depicts a totalitarian future where the party controls Oceania, which is a superstate perpetually at war. The party brainwashes citizens into obedience to Big Brother, the party's leader, through surveillance, propaganda, and the invented language newspeak. Here's what's interesting. The people that were now put into place for this particular administration and this movement are lining up specifically with this. Because when you take Elon Musk, who has no political background, the only thing that he's done is to be the head of an organization that has resulted in him, obviously becoming a billionaire. No political affiliations, though. As a matter of fact, politicians don't get paid much, not as much as these dudes do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not nearly as much as these guys make. It's not a very sexy thing to put on your resume because you don't need it. There's nothing that being a politician could do for you except if there's mass control involved and you now have a say in how this thing goes. So when you think about this particular statement, these types of novels, and then when you think about the term,
is that a novel? I want to read it. Is that a novel? I've never heard of it. Okay.
Yeah, it's a novel back in '84.
Okay.
But he wrote it, and he's talking about, and again, obviously, there's a lot of truth that's been hidden in books, right?
Yeah.
Which is also going to the notion that right now there's a move to remove history books and to change history. That's been happening for a little while now, though.
Mm-hmm.
So I've talked to you about this, but it was in Texas a few years back, probably about 8 to 10 years back, actually. where there was a textbook, right? And we know that textbooks, I think McGraw and Hill, major textbook providers across the country in
Yeah.
all public schools. Well, anyway, long story short is a parent would just so happen to be reading a section in the book that talked about slavery, I guess because it might have been Black History Month or whatever it was. And what she noticed was that they changed the narrative in that book completely. Just completely removed the idea that America participated in something of that nature. And so she caused a big uproar, and then obviously they got those books back out, right? And then they changed them and put the real stories in there. But this didn't just start today. And so there are authors, historians, et cetera, where their books are not being allowed to be used in schools. Period. Unless you're telling the story that
The
we
way they want you to tell it.
The unified language, right? So here, what did it say in this book, right? So it says, based on the invented language, if you're not speaking this language, then you have no part to play. So the TikTok ban, the other things that are coming, I do think it's not time for panic though, because I believe that there's an answer to this, and I believe that there's something that we can do to help us through this process. But you've got to become aware of what's going on. So we didn't have time tonight, but I think Project 2025 is something that you definitely should look into. It's a 900-page manifesto. This is not put together by trolls. This is not put together by some niggas on social media. This was done by the
Your president.
same people that are having control, power, and say over what should happen and how things should move forward.
And you heard about him removing the executive order to remove anything that has to do with DEI, not DUI, but DEI in books.
All of that.
All of that. Remember, I sent that to you. Literally, I just couldn't believe it that he could just sign an executive order and start ripping shit off of websites immediately. Just no regard, just going through all the federal paperwork and getting shit taken out, all verbiage. I'm like, what? And then the Affordable Care Act, when it comes to health care and Medicaid, he's trying to change all that. He signed an executive order, but that shit is supposed to not be going into effect until March. He asked for some more information, he being Donald Trump, whatever, his cabinet, I don't know, before he does that. But I work in healthcare, and part of the Affordable Care Act, and it's so fucked up because, again, our healthcare system is still not where it needs to be by far. And I mean, I'll read shit like that and I'm like, damn, it's not like he can totally rip Affordable Care Act off, but you can change it in a way where it's very difficult and even more expensive for a person to get health care if they don't have insurance through their employer.
Yes.
And my son is an independent contractor. You know what I'm saying? So he has to pay outright for his insurance. He doesn't, the amount that he has to pay is ridiculous, and he's young. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, I mean, I'm just saying that to say the power that these people have. But I have to constantly say and tell myself what's going across the screen. Don't panic. And panic. And this is what, because you can easily, you guys, and you can feel your body. You can feel your energy when when you start to get excited or panicked or anxious, your breathing changes, you tense up. If you're not aware, you can feel it in your body, and you got to start taking deep breaths and all these things, right, to counteract this adrenaline, okay, when you start to panic. And if you do not protect yourself and what you consume, your algorithm, all of these things, you're it's going to cloud your thinking. And I'm not saying don't be informed. What I'm saying is you don't believe everything that you hear. You do research of your own. You keep an open line of communication with those that you trust, and you have conversations. Because if you converse, and like we're doing tonight, and you just discuss things, whether it's jokingly or whatever, but you get it out there, you kind of put it on the table, and then everybody puts their thoughts in, and let's just kind of sort it out. Because it's going to be a lot coming. I believe that's part of the plan, is to cause hysteria, to cause you to panic, to worry, all of that. That's part of the plan, because if you do that, then you're no good. And that's what they want. You to be no good, for you to panic, for you to get in your own way. So how do we offset that?
Oh,
What happened?
oh no, keep speaking. I
No,
got
but
I got something to
okay, you
provide
guys.
a visual.
Okay, cool. So yeah, like Marianne said, awareness is paramount. So ignorance is not bliss in this case, but be selective on what you consume. Do your research, keep the line of communication open. That's my game plan, because we can sit here and talk till we're blue in the face. And I was telling Dynamics earlier, it's like, for me, it's always about what's the takeaway and what can I do if it's one little thing, because panicking is not gonna do anything. Like I'll use this as an example because it just happened. Um, when my husband came to the door and was like, "I need to talk to you real quick," right? And I had to get up and leave the room for a second, and we went to music. Well, he was panicking about something, right? I had to stay calm. I didn't know what it was yet, but I had to stay calm. Okay, and then we figured it out. But the point is that his reaction was panic. And if I had matched that, there would be no podcast right now. I would have probably fell off and accidentally cut the podcast off. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, yeah, that's so. I'm saying that to say what helps me, you guys, honestly, is the meditation, the reading, these podcasts, talking to Jason, keeping people in my circle where we're speaking the same language. That does not mean you have to agree. You don't have to agree with everything you hear around. It's okay to disagree. And that's another thing people are not good at. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not good at just, can we just not agree on that and it be okay? There's going to be a lot of shit going on in this world that is going to come to light that we're just all not going to agree on. I mean, I guess to Snoop's point is, you're going to tear each other down. That's not the answer either. That's what they want to cause division. And I saw Marianne said that earlier. Somebody said it. I think it was Marianne. But go ahead. Did you find what you wanted to share, Dynamics?
You know what? I just was trying to look for it. It was a scene from the movie 300.
Mm-hmm.
And but there was another scene where Mel Gibson was Patriot too. And Mel Gibson had a scene that was very similar in the respect that although these people were outnumbered, right, numerically, they were able to hold off forces that were much larger than them. We don't have the economic pull numerically, but we have enough if we were to hold, quote unquote, hold the line, that to hold off and to actually fight back, if you will. My stance on this, and we're coming close to the end of this one, but it's not a doom and gloom. I agree with you 1000%. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to come. There's going to be more things. There's going to be so many things that are coming because these things are being set in motion, and they're not holding still. They're moving very quickly. There's a manifesto that's out. If you want to take a look at it, it's 180 days. It's the 180-day manifesto associated with that came out. It's associated with Project 2025. That was said to be not true, but the reality is it's there. And the reality is also is that a lot of things that are happening are lining up perfectly with exactly what this is, right? You have to tear this down in order to now do it the way that they're saying that they want to do it. And you get the conservatives and et cetera, and the religious right together. And it's interesting because one of those first statements that he made was that, okay, well, there's only two genders. And a lot of the religious right got extremely excited about this. Extremely excited. Oh, yeah, woo, woo, woo. But as a part of that, though, is where you see all these other things that are happening as well. So I'm going to give you a little something to be proud of. But here's what else we're doing as along with that. And I just needed your participation to get this through the door anyway.
Right.
I say all that to say this. I believe that the truest reality, and there's a video, I don't have time to play it tonight because it says it's about 8 minutes or so. But maybe in our next show, well, I want to get into what is an oligarchy and corporatocracy, et cetera, et cetera. And these are some of the things I think that are happening right now that we've been seeing, and we just didn't have a name for it, but we can have a unified language as it relates to it. But the answer, I believe, that's going to move us from this place to the next is this. Along with what you were saying, I do believe that we have to have better lines of communication. We have to actually work at active communication, which means that not only do I have something to say, but I'm willing to listen and hear where you coming from.
Yeah.
When it comes to what you're talking about. You are not my adversary. The lines of black, white, the lines between white and Hispanic, Latino, the lines between Asian and European, all of that shit is made up. All of this shit is made up. And they've been running this storyline for a good while. Anytime when they created the races, I just want you to know this though, and you have to, and don't take my word for it, but go back and look this up. When was race created? You can look that up. Race has not always been a factor. Race has not always been something that's been talked about. Is it talked about a lot now? Yes. Do black people tend to get majority of the representation of people who talk about race? Yes. But there's a reason for that. What we're talking about ultimately is not specifically just race. It's because of what's being happening that's associated with who you call this or who you designated as this particular group of people who you did that to. This is what's happening. And we're saying, and people are saying, that's not okay. So yes, you're going to hear that, but don't fall for the propaganda on that because people of color are not running around saying that fuck everybody else. No, because what's going to be really interesting is that we're going to be the greatest allies when it comes to making anything move from this point forward. But we also need participation across the board. I believe, I'm one of those that believes in us working together. That crosses all lines. And I don't know why people don't say this as much as they should, but I believe it was factual that the Underground Railroads would not have been able to happen if it
Mhm.
was people that were across different lines that participated. Whites, I don't know if there was many Asians during that time period, but who knows?
Yeah.
But I do know this.
It took
There
more than just black
it
folks.
was
It's
more than just black folks to make a movement. It's more than just one.
yeah.
So the isolation piece is not the key.
Yeah. I agree
Truth
with
be told, here's a quote. I got to give y'all this quote. You're not going to believe me, but this was made by Lyndon B. Johnson.
I thought you were gonna say me. Lyndon B. Johnson, are you about to play it? What's that echo?
No,
Oh, never mind.
no, I'm not going to play it.
Did you get your nose pierced?
I'm not
Was
going
it
to play it. I'm not going to play anything, but hold on. Okay, hold on.
he didn't go on mute. He thought he was on mute.
I did go on mute.
No, you didn't. You did good. You heard it.
All
Go.
right. Lyndon B. Johnson said this. He was a president back in the 60s. And again, go look this shit up yourself. But this is what I'm just going to tell you. Put this information out here. You ready for this one? You ain't
Yeah.
going to believe this shit. He said this. The president, right? If you can convince the lowest white man he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice you're picking his pocket. Hell, give him somebody to look down on, and he'll empty his pockets for you. That is the president of the United States in 1963. That agenda is what has still been playing forward even to this day.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say that the idea of race has been made up and created, I'm not just talking shit. When I say that they're realistically speaking, the issue is not a black, white, Hispanic, Asian issue. That's not what the issue is. The issue, truth be told, is that we are now moving into an affirmed oligarchy, which means the rule of a few. The wealthy people are who are standing out front. Beforehand, they were behind the scenes.
Right.
Now they're up front
They
and letting you
stepping
know.
in. They're leaning into their greatness.
I would not necessarily agree with that statement.
They're what? They're leaning in. They're leaning in.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Hey, they not listen. The wolf
They
ain't got no sheep's clothing on. The wolf said, "Hey, I'm here."
They said, "Fuck it." They said, "What you gonna do?" They throwing up Nazi symbols right in our face and telling us that's not what it is, and we
Hey,
go, "Okay."
you
They
know it's
said
funny
that's
though.
not it.
You
Look
know
what
you
Drea said earlier. Working class is at risk. It's class. It's about class. I agree with that. Okay, go ahead. What are we gonna say?
Oh man,
Marianne.
I
We done
don't.
pissed Marianne tonight. This is the third mad face she done put up here tonight. Look, Marianne has been mad all night long. We done pissed her off on the podcast. We love you, Marianne. Look. Okay, but what are we gonna say?
Oh, what's interesting is some of the people that got elected and put in position
Mm-hmm.
are the Ministry of Defense
Uh-huh.
is associated with a church that's associated with Nazis. So, and actually was founded as a result of that movement. Now, most people don't know that, but if you look, its information is there, and the
I didn't know
tie-ins are
Elon Musk was associated with this shit. I found that shit out. That ain't obviously that's not new news. I didn't know it.
yeah.
He's openly associated or believes in their look at Tia said get him Marianne right. Marianne be on it. She be on it, boy.
Yes. So,
well, we
my
love
thing
you guys.
Is y'all, we are going to have to band together. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We got to band together. So let's figure out some solutions.
Well, first things first, we're gonna get Dynamics on the schedule. So we will be We'll be here next week on
someday.
He
It'll
said,
be a day.
look, this nigga was more on it. He was more regular when he was clocking in and out. Now the nigga don't have to clock in. Now we can't get this nigga here on a Thursday.
Just life is life right now, and I'm trying to still get my
Well, take
bearings
some more
straight.
Mucinex or whatever it is you take in
I'm
Mullen.
taking Mullen, and
Mullen.
I'm getting my bearings together and figuring out a new vibration.
Well, listen, stay off the skates.
No.
Stay
Ooh,
out the cigar
hey,
bar. He's been
yeah.
skating at a cigar bar, and then this is
I don't skate at cigar bars. I go skating at the skating rink.
Oh,
Listen, I got to send you a video.
were you skating?
When I tell you I'm learning how to skate backwards,
Are
and
you?
it's happening. It is fucking happening. In my big ass age, I'm learning how to skate backwards, and this shit's working. Y'all know I learned how to swim in 23. I
Oh, you
learned how to breaststroke, do all that shit in 23. Yeah,
23. It's never too late.
it's never fucking too late.
It's never too late. Even in your 70s, you can still do what it is you need to do to. We got to keep. You're not in your 70s, but I'm saying if someone's that
No,
old,
but
they can.
shit,
It's
I'm
never.
out there. I'm out there with 70-year-olds whooping my ass on them skates.
I heard that.
Hey, there's
I don't
some.
want to fall. Did you fall?
No, not this time. 2 times before I did.
I want all the protective gear, padding.
You know what? My mom was actually out there, and she's 60 something, and she just said, I'm just gonna take it slow, and so she took it slow because she's trying to get her legs back under her. So she was in there working on her balance. That's all she was doing the whole time.
Yeah, that would
Balance,
have
balance,
been me.
balance. Which was fun, but she had a fun time doing it though, because you're just doing something that's healthy. It's something that's different, something that tapped into her childhood or early life experiences.
Yeah,
Because I mean, they skated back in the 70s, right? That was their
yeah.
shit. So for me, getting into it now, and I'm seeing some of them old cats up in there, males and females, whooping ass, just
I love when I see stuff like
gigging,
that. They be real good at it. I love it.
gigging. They was in there gigging, vibing out. Cool. It was a cool ass old white dude in there, man. I don't think the nigga rolled forward the whole time. I think the whole 2.5 hours,
He
the
was
nigga
going
was
back.
just backwards with the
Now,
lights
when
on his
you go
face.
backwards, do you worry about hitting people, or they just keep turning
Bro,
around?
I
You just
listen. I don't never see none of them hit nobody for however they do it. I
yeah.
guess they're aware. They have situational awareness, and they're going around people, holding face to face conversations, skating face to face. So he's backwards. He's talking to somebody, and they just
He's
going
going
around the
forward.
ring,
Yeah. Oh,
going
wow.
not just forward, around the whole ring. Man, that was shit so damn impressive.
Can you still
But
hold on the side, on the outer
yeah,
edge?
yeah, you can. They still have the outer edges there. Oh, they got the little middle section, and for so you could kind of work. That's where I go, and I start working on going backwards, because I haven't gone backwards around the rink yet. I'm just going backwards in straight lines in the middle. Um, but it's coming together though, and pretty soon, I'm about to get me some new skates. I'm gonna invest in that because I want to really kind of put some effort into this. And then going out here to these parks, because there's a couple basketball courts. I was told that, hey, you can skate there when people aren't playing basketball, and so you can get some great time in, great work in, get some drills. So yeah, it's just little stuff like that. So I'm a big fan of it. I'm a big fan of anything that's gonna get you out your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Anything, no matter what it is. I bowl, I do all that. Oh, I bowl too. And
Anyway,
do you still bowl? Can you
please.
bowl?
Can I get out of here? That's my game.
Really? I'm serious.
Yes.
I've never seen you, especially with nails like that. I don't see how that would fit into a ball.
My ball was specially made.
Oh, to account for your nails? Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
That's fascinating. I like to see that.
They measure my nails in my hand.
I'd like to test that theory sometime.
Oh God.
No, I'm just saying.
I got when I tell you I'm gonna win at something, I do. I've done
You
that your
used to.
entire life.
You used to.
I've always done.
That's why you stopped playing me in spades,
I
because it's
no,
not the same.
no.
You stopped playing. You did stop playing.
At some point, I have to help build you up. I can't keep tearing you down.
Well, here's what we know. I'm leading in the spades count.
Okay.
That's what we know.
We know that I let you do what you need to
You
do.
let
Just
me
like
do that?
I help. Yes, I take the back seat a lot, so you can feel like you doing. Because I'm not for tearing people down. You're talking about I need a walker. Well, listen, do they have that at the skating rink? Oh yeah, they do have the walker, Tia. The thing you hold on to with the
They
skate.
do.
Yes, that's what I would want, at least to start. You're right.
Would you skate though? For real? Would you come out and skate?
Now, I think now I would. Yeah, I think I would. As long as I get the right shoes. I mean, skates. I get the right skates.
Truth.
I get the listen. No, she ain't going no skating.
Truth.
Oh God. She's not. She remember she was eating all that Mexican food. She probably fell asleep with her headphones on. She probably on the couch with her headphones on. If y'all can see True, she wears the headphones. Oh look. Never mind.
Truth. Do you know how to skate?
Marry him.
How is she? That's impressive.
Truth is too
ain't
tall.
said nothing for the last 2 hours, hour and a half.
Them headphones on dozing. Wait, Truth is too tall to skate. Her balance is off. Let's just have the little seat. Okay. Skates, Nirvana. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get some skates.
Listen.
Yes,
Come
I
on, True. Listen. Let's get you and Nirvana out to the skating rink. Come on.
Truth is not good at.
Come on, Truth. I will come to New Mexico just for that. I will make a special trip just to be there and to be in attendance. Period. I don't know if ands or buts.
Somebody's gonna have to record that. Now that's gonna be content. If ain't nothing else content.
Listen, let's get y'all on the skating rink. I'm telling you.
You skate too, Tia?
Listen, Tia
says she skate.
Okay, so we got the sound bath coming up on Monday.
I was still trying to get into this. I'm gonna need the sound bath after them skates. We before and after.
We got that Monday, but let's do the skate thing. Listen, not only is it good, it's fun, but it's like it's an easy way to get exercise in without thinking about exercise. You know what I mean?
I'll be thinking about my life.
Huh?
I'll be focused on my life.
No, you're gonna be focused on. I used to do this. I know how to do this. I think this is the piece that we're moving into, is tapping into that. Like we can get inundated with all this other bullshit, but we're not going to be able to fix that like that. What we have to do is we got to work on the ground level, grassroots campaign, which means we're going to start from us. We're going to start right here, right where we're at. So Truth, I'm glad you're telling me that.
He doesn't want to do much beyond eateries.
I will be I'll be an accountability partner as it relates to that. And I'll help those efforts.
You guys,
I am all for it. I'm all for you guys doing anything. And to Marianne and anybody else, let me just say this too. Revelations 22:2.
Oh Lord, the pastor's out.
Hold on, no. That's not what we're talking about.
Pastor Jack, here I am right here. Look, this is the podcast. Boop. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so Revelations 22.
Marianne, anybody else?
It's connected to the Bluetooth. Go ahead. Revelations 8 and 12. What?
It's
Go. Go.
Your attention span is worse than mine. Fuck.
Good. Tia said unbelievable. Okay, go ahead.
22 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
I've given the healing. I've given the leaves of the trees for the healing of the nations. Right? Hold on. This is the latter part of it, right? It says, "And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations." When you were talking about the medical system and people losing access to medical benefits, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, that was the first thing that popped into my mind.
Okay.
Which was that passage, because I do know that there are medicinal herbs, there's things out there. Now, I'm telling you guys something that I just, from the beginning of the show to now, I just found out about this herb. The shit worked. And it's working. Like, it's working unbelievably fast, right? And it's getting the shit out there. I also know the storyline as it relates to mucus and sicknesses and illnesses. So I say all that to say this.
Mm-hmm.
We have options, and this is where talking to people and getting and finding out the information, because there are people that are taking things that are helping them every day, and they don't know that you need that. They don't know that it would benefit you. They just kept it. I've never heard of this herb, but just so happened in a casual conversation, a friend of mine tells me about it. And she actually got it for me, the other herb, because I kept forgetting to get it. Loved it. Then that just started me to go out and get it myself. And then I went and found some more, and then I've been on it. Like I'm vibing with it. So I say all that to say,
your friend told you about it?
Yeah. That's how I found out about it.
Your friend when you were sick?
No, my mom was actually not feeling well, and she was saying, "Oh, you should get this herb because mucus." And so, I use that CPAP machine, and so with dry air, it creates mucus in your chest, right? Because it's forcing air in your lungs.
Mm-hmm.
So, long story short, it's been very helpful.
I have another long story short. Go ahead.
Cue the music.
Nothing. We love y'all. This is our new outro.
You should have had it on while we were.
I know. You were talking.
That's when you turn it on.
I wasn't ready. Let me go to it. Okay, guys, we love you. Tell someone something while I find the song. So, we love y'all.
Y'all, let's tap in with the herbs. Let's get our health together as much as we can. We do the best that we can.
Control your algorithm in real life and on social media.
Definitely.
That's why I'm cutting some people off this week. All right, here we go. Clearly. This is our new outro song. We love y'all. See you next week. Bye.
It's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go. The lights are on. The club is closed. You don't want to leave because you love her. Something ain't right, you doing bad tonight. You be all alone if you don't have a wife. Cause these ladies ain't feeling you. They don't want to know what you can really do. They just want to make you disappear. Get the up out of ear. Take that shit back over there. Go away. She don't want to know you, player. What you gotta say? Just like this. Loud as you can. Say, oh, that beat. 5 minutes ago, you was thinking, would she roll out with you and give you some? I don't think that's going down. But you don't wanna go home now. It's time to go up out my face. You better get up out my face. Get up out my face. You need to get up out my face. It's time to go. Get up out my face. You better get up out my face. Get up out my face. You need to get up out my face. It's time to go. You came to my house with a maxi pad. You going home in a taxi cab. No more limos, run the meter. We might need stitches, this one's a bleeder. Grab your girl, it's time to go. You look good, but you ain't my kinda. Another time, on another day.
We could hook up, make love and play. It really can't happen no other way. Girl, do you hear what a brother say? Don't leave anything in my room. I got another freak, she'll be here soon. She might not be as wild as you. It's 4 a.m. and right now she do. She's not a super freak and she's not a. But when she gets here, you gotta go.
It's time to go up out my face. You better get up out my face. Get up out my face. You better get up out my face. It's time to go up out my face. You better get up out my face. Get up out my face. You better get up out my face. It's time to
We
go.
did what we did, so let's do what we do. We had fun, but now I'm through with you. I gotta run. I'll call you in a few days. I'll be back to get some more. Cause you do it better than most. At this rate, we'll probably never be close. But that's okay, cause that's not the mission. You can cheat on your man if you got permission. I'll give it to you. I'll beat it so well when we finish. We gotta leave the hotel, that's all. I'm the #1 player. You can call, or I'll see you somewhere. As long as we make this happen again. Yo, fine art sitting back in the Benz, cause yours is the best, I must confess. But right now, it's time to get dressed.
Get up out my face. You better get up out my face. Get up out my face. You better get up out my face. It's time to go up out my face. You better get up out my face. Get up out my face. You need to get up out my face. It's time to go. You need to get on up out my face.
You gotta go.
It's time to go. You need to get on up out my face.
It's time to go.
It's time to go.
All right, y'all. Peace. See y'all later.
Love y'all. We're gonna tap in next week. Deuces.